So that's the first qualifying of the season in the bag. And if you've not yet seen it, maybe worth scrolling on. I've tried to leave this video as late as I can so that I don't spoil it for you. Right, thank you to whoever's left. No real surprises on the front row with a McLaren lockout. The question going into today was always going to be which one of the two would get pole position, with of course a great lap from Lando to steal pole position and break Aussie hearts ahead of Oscar Piastri. P3, Max Verstappen. I did warn yesterday that Max would be back in the mix especially, and with rain due, my prediction for Max win is still on at this point. Do not rule Red Bull and Max Verstappen out at all. George Russell, P4, Mercedes. They will be happy with that, especially in the heat of a Saturday. We know that car works better under cool weather, and with cooler weather due tomorrow, they're going to be very happy with fourth. Fifth, and a stunning lap with Yuki Tsunoda, showing both Helmut Marko and Christian Horner just exactly what he thinks their driver choice for 2025. Alex Albon, sixth. Is it now time to get on the Williams hype train just yet? A superb performance by Len. My only hope is that they haven't got all in for a high qualifying and a dry setup for the results to just tail off in the west. They also look like they saved a set of extra tyres for qualifying. Ferrari, P7 and P8, Charles and Lewis looking more off the pace than we expected, blindfully expected a bounce back from Ferrari tomorrow. Gasly, P9, he snuck in under the radar, but also showing that Alpine evolution I talked about a couple of weeks ago, rather than the revolution on the car, isn't a bad option at all. Carlos Sainz, Lockout, P10, and of course that double top 10 for Williams is a monster performance for the Grove-based team. Hadja, better the rookies in P11. I wonder how many of us had that before qualifying today. Aston Martin, P12 and P13. Normal service seems to be resumed here with Alonso and Stroll. Not yet looking like they've made the gains they want to in the AMR 25. Jack Durham, P14. He was actually looking good until that Lewis spin destroyed his lap in Q2. Gabriel Bortoleto, P15, a great performance from him. Made a mistake in Q2, but what a save. He's made a solid start, that's for sure. Kimi Antonelli, P16, ran wide, picked up damage, and he's going to be disappointed with that qualifying. However, with the pace that's clearly in that Mercedes, and of course that fixed floor that he's going to have, it is going to be really interesting to see him try and come back through the grid tomorrow with that setup that they've got going on there. Hulkenberg, P17, was kind of where we expected Sauber, but not in the order of the two drivers. He's going to be disappointed to lose out on his teammate, that's for sure. And then, of course, we come to Liam Lawson and his trouble weekend continuing with P18. This is not the start that he wanted or Red Bull wanted. And whilst I think that he's got a better car underneath him, he's had a bad start to 2025. Make no mistake about it. And then, of course, that brings us on to a weekend to forget for Haas. P19 and P20, a new gearbox for Ollie, causing all sorts of issues. And they are going to be sat hoping that rain can help bring them into the mix with regards to some points. And that is my qualifying roundup. I cannot wait for this race tomorrow. There is still so much that we don't yet know about these cars, especially if we get that expected wet weather running.